Welcome, everyone, to Savor Newark, the podcast, a platform that allows us to discuss everything that turns Newark into the authentic food capital of the country. Today, my guest is Ashley Mays, Newark Alliance's Chief Marketing Officer and Newark Happening President. Ashley,
Thank you so much.
welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's our pleasure. So, this is the extension of the event that you actually were a part of last year. How was that experience?
Oh, it was incredible, Carlos. It represented everything that's amazing about Newark, and quite frankly, what Newark Alliance strives to embrace: collaboration, elevating the best of Newark, and also talking about the issues and challenges and opportunities that will continue to propel the city forward. So it was just spot on, and so excited for this year's event.
Yes, so are we. Normally, when we think of destination marketing organizations, so tourism bureaus, people think of maybe tropical destinations, Aruba, the Canary Islands. But you actually are spearheading everything that goes into the strategy behind positioning Newark as a global city that it is. And the truth is, it's growing. So you've been doing something amazingly well. You and obviously your team. Um, how? What goes into marketing a city like Newark with in this moment of growth and the renaissance that Newark is going through?
Yeah. Well, first, I think it's important to kind of frame what our work is, and we think of it as destination stewardship. We're not just marketing or promoting Newark, but we're really charged with being thoughtful about developing, opportunities for Newark residents, and helping to bring all of our different important institutions, um, creatives, organizations together to move Newark forward together. But at the end of the day, we see ourselves as stewards of Newark, and have moved away from a more traditional philosophy that many destination marketing organizations have around the country. It's more of a heads and beds, where the goal is to bring people in, get them to stay at hotels, and move on. And that is part of our goal, to attract visitors and attract overnight visitors, of course. But at the end of the day, we have to center the resident, and the opportunities, economic opportunities, and quality of life opportunities that we're delivering for the Newark resident.
And it shows you actually had a wonderful role promoting and developing Halsey. You come from a background of real estate, also come from Brooklyn, Navy Yards. A lot of people actually say that Newark can actually have a similar story to the ones that Brooklyn had, even Jersey City next door, that eventually over time becomes this beautiful swan,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's happening. You see all of these developers coming to Newark, and why do you think that is? How do you
Oh,
explain that
yes.
success?
Well, it's been it hasn't happened overnight, and it's a series of investments, and partnerships that have been brought to the table over a long period of time. And so it's a lot of things with respect to investments from the state of New Jersey, and kind of we're seeing the momentums on programs that have been attracting investment. It's an incredible moment of collaboration where our anchor institutions are very much aligned with Mayor Raj J. Baraka's office, and community organizations, and residents, our rich artist community, where there's more investment being placed and kind of helping to elevate the arts in the city. So, but our work at Newark Alliance, we stand on the shoulders of many that have come before us, and as all of these organizations do too. So it's been momentum, but we're, I think, in a particularly special time where we're starting to see all the fruits of that labor showing up with cranes in the sky and new businesses opening, new programs, lots of alignment with kind of our partner organizations like Invest Newark and Newark Alliance and the City of Newark. It's all really working well together. So, and it's developed this flywheel. And sometimes I like to think of how collaboration is kind of a manifestation of physics, and that it's developing this momentum that more alignment, more collaboration build more energy. And I think we're seeing that now.
And NCAA was a great example. So you had Invest Newark. There was also Have You Met Newark? I mean,
Yes.
all the local who were also brought to the conversation, I think, also, and had the pleasure of covering. And it was interesting, and we love to capture the reactions of people because a lot of people in this area knows that Newark has amazing Portuguese food, amazing Brazilian food, amazing Spanish food. And this is not something recent that happened. I mean,
Right.
these communities have been here for a long time. But when we see people from Ohio traveling in, and they're like, the vibes are immaculate, dude. Great, right here next to the airport. So sometimes we need outsiders to recognize it, so that we feel like, yeah, that's right. That's what Newark is. We're next to the airport. We're next to New York, but still offer something that New York doesn't offer, because
Right.
you don't really find this level of authenticity there. So if you really want the real and authentic experience, you come to Newark. And I think that right now, with artificial intelligence and all these things, Newark reminds us of the true value of authentic culture. And that's what I feel that sets us apart.
That's right. And you referenced Brooklyn and kind of my experience in Brooklyn, and I think there's certainly some parallels, but I think that what we're doing in Newark and our intentionality about making sure that as the city grows, that people are presented with opportunity, and that we are working uh, to counter displacement, and in ways that, again, Brooklyn or Jersey City have kind of been grappling, kind of being the victims of their own success, frankly, and that with growth, when what can happen when communities aren't protected and centered.
Mhm.
So
So it's growth, but in a sustainable, responsible way.
in a way that centers the people who've been here, and make sure that again, we're centering Newarkers, and uh, that as we're attracting opportunity, that we're making sure, or attracting investment or attracting people to move into the city, that at the same time we're presenting opportunity for Newark residents to participate and build their businesses, build their visions, live in affordable homes, buy homes, and are able to kind of build their lives,
In
continue to build
their
their lives.
American dream.
Exactly.
One of the things that makes me respect and admire destination marketing is because it's not only just selling, in your case, bedrooms and hotels, is everything that can turn this destination or destinations desirable places.
Hmm.
In your case, you have pillars like food, the strategic location. What goes into marketing a city like Newark?
Well, one of our first, so there's a few things that we're focused on. First is the idea about addressing Newark's perception, and that there's been thankfully recent research conducted by Destinations International, which is an organization that's kind of an advocate for destination marketing work. And they've done research on perception, and that it's not just facts and figures that impact people's decisions on where they're going to spend their time, but it's storytelling. And what we've realized as Newark Alliance has now taken the helm of this destination marketing work, that there hasn't been a deep infrastructure for storytelling about kind of the authentic Newark. And those stories are what's needed to counteract kind of negative perceptions or just wrong perceptions or outdated perceptions about Newark. And so that is first and foremost um, what we want to help address through conversations like this, through telling our story on platforms of all sorts and print media, national media, but really centering the stories of Newark residents and businesses and amazing assets, cultural assets that we have here. The other thing that we're really focused on is how we can provide excellent visitor experience. And so that means hospitality, really making Newark an approachable place for someone who might just be stepping off of the train from Newark Penn Station. How does one kind of navigate a city like Newark? And so we're envisioning a program called Newark Welcome Team, where we will work with organizations based in Newark, who can assemble essentially street teams of greeters and tour guides that we can deploy during major events and have people on the street as Newark's ambassadors to help welcome visitors and help direct them to the places or restaurants that are their own favorites, local tips and tricks. And so these are just a couple of ways that we're trying to address how we, do destination marketing uh, in Newark.
That concept of ambassadors already had something similar last year with NCAA, and I
Yes,
think it's great.
yes, it is, and obviously we didn't invent this idea. It's a long kind of tradition in many destinations, and we piloted it. Newark Alliance did in partnership with Invest Newark and the City of Newark Arts and Education District, and we worked with Have You Met Newark Tours and you all for the Newark Fan Fest during March Madness. And we found that that was just an incredible opportunity to promote what was happening during March Madness, not just to visitors, but actually Newark residents as well, because Newark is a big city, and there's lots of people don't always know what's happening.
Yeah.
So it was a great way to kind of just get in front of residents and tell them all the things that are in their own backyard.
Yeah, no, and I love the fact that, I mean, a lot of what we do also involves giving the voice and interviewing or giving the platform to the local residents. In my opinion, the biggest and the most authentic ambassadors of
That's right.
Newark. Deshaun being a great example.
Yes.
He was one of the
Yes, he
ambassadors,
was.
and he's just a ray of
Yep.
sunshine that not only people that know him and love him directly, even people that come from the outside, he just greets them with that Newark pride, and I think that worked wonderfully. You had a great team of ambassadors, and not only that, you also had not only guiding visitors from Penn Station to Prudential, but also curated tours around the
Yes.
mural. So like a lot. That's why I think it's so cool, this whole tourism marketing, because it's so detailed. So it's the restaurants, but then it's also the murals and how to orchestrate all of this.
Yeah,
So much work that goes into it that you guys do.
exactly. And that was also kind of talking about kind of how we're linking events with our food scene. That was the thinking behind our program broadly called Experience Newark.
Hmm.
And there's so many events and festivals that are bringing people to the city or bringing Newark residents downtown. And we want to make sure that what is Newark Alliance's role, and again, being super intentional, how we can get those visitors into local businesses and local restaurants. And so we have an array of different mechanisms to try to facilitate that, to again kind of really elevate Newark's food scene, Newark's storied food scene in the Ironbound, but all over the city there
Yeah.
are gems. And so again, we're really excited to try to make that happen in a bigger way.
Yeah, because all these cities, big cities, there's all of our all these big cities have areas that they can improve or challenges here. But one thing is true: the Newark food scene, there's nothing, no one out there can even remotely question. Of course, people eventually say, but it's not true because it's just one of those that it's you. I'm so passionate about it because I can vouch for the fact that you eat in Newark, and if people don't agree, I welcome to send us a message or a comment, and we can discuss this further. I believe that we in Newark as if we're eating in Portugal.
Hmm.
Now, granted, if you eat grilled fish by the beach in Portugal, the whole scenario might have a different flavor. But if we were to transport these restaurants the way they are and just send them to Portugal, they would still be considered good restaurants.
Hmm.
And now that Portugal and all these, European destinations are so hyped, and it's also going through this momentum, and the Iberian Peninsula, especially Portugal. People, you don't have to go to Portugal; you can have that flavor here
Hmm.
in Newark, and
Hmm.
so excited for that. So excited that you put so much love and effort into it, and so excited for this year's restaurant week.
Yes, and really excited to partner with Plusable on Restaurant Week. So this year is the first year that actually Newark Alliance will be kind of the stewards of Restaurant Week. Previously, and our partners and Invest Newark were running it, but now that we're kind of comfortably situated now in the marketing for the city, we're really excited to take it on in partnership kind of with our local experts. And we were really intentional about how we're going to relaunch it and when we're going to relaunch it, and decided to do it during the World Cup, also during North to Shore. So, again, trying to be really intentional about leveraging visitors and how we can use a platform like Restaurant Week to promote Newark's restaurant scene and help funnel that foot traffic that's already going to be into the city for concerts and events into restaurants. So we're so excited about that. And again, kind of there's lots of research about what's motivating visitors and travelers, and food is one of those things that is very resilient and will continue to draw visitors even in moments where there might be economic uncertainty. Food and authentic food and those foodie experiences, we've seen the research that uh, the higher end traveler will continue to look to seek um, authentic food experiences, and again those kind of hidden
In gems,
gems. And so
names that you
you
can barely pronounce. Sometimes you go to these Portuguese restaurants, like, why would you name your restaurant this? I'm Portuguese. Even for me, this is kind of hard to pronounce. They don't even get in their mind, they just live in the bubble of abundance of Portuguese people, and
right.
they just think of, no, we're competing amongst ourselves. Who's the most authentic? No one's willing to dumb it down anything. It's so if you're really into food, for the foodies out there, if you're really into authentic food, here's where you can truly taste the culture.
Right.
And one of the reasons why I feel that I've eaten better in Newark actually than in some restaurants in Portugal.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
let's not assume that every restaurant in Portugal is
Yes.
going to be the
Well,
best, because but I've eaten better there with more love, and I feel that what you taste in Newark is a nostalgia that people
mhm,
in Portugal they don't have because they
mhm,
don't miss Portugal. They're there,
mhm,
but people here they miss it, and one of the reasons Portugal, because I'm Portuguese, but the same thing applies to all of the other
mhm.
communities and African too, and
Yep.
one of the reasons to keep home close is through food. So you're not just tasting a dish, you're tasting a love story for your culture that you're also sharing with these people here. And that's something that it's an experience that you don't it's hard to find anywhere else with the abundance of so many good restaurants like we
Mhm.
do have in North.
That's right.
So it's very exciting. You've been in the middle of all these conversations with World Cup, huge momentum from
Yes.
Newark, huge momentum from Newark for Newark Alliance and the tourism. How do you
Yeah.
see this whole thing unfolding?
Yeah, this is it's an incredible opportunity for Newark to reintroduce itself to not just the global visitor, but also more the local visitor. There's lots of New Jerseyans that have not been to Newark recently, and so this is an opportunity to really show Newark off at its best, with all of the events that will be happening, festivals, restaurant week, and really uh, reestablish a relationship with kind of our more local visitors as well. So we're excited. We're going to be launching um, a marketing campaign that will, set out to kind of really tell the story of everything that Newark has to offer with respect to its real authentic soccer culture, our cultural diversity, our international food scene, and our really rich art scene. So we are going to be very busy. It's going to be a really exciting summer. But I think that when all is said and done, we'll have been proud that we are really trying to tell Newark's story, and have that pride, just like you were talking about earlier, really exude, and uh, for international or more far-flung visitors, that Newark is not just the airport, but we're a destination and in a community, thriving community. And for the more local folks, that hopefully people will find some new favorite restaurants and consider kind of coming back to Newark more frequently.
Mhm. You're in conversations at a local, state, also national level. What's the sentiment? Is there a big expectation? What is Newark gonna bring to the table?
Yeah. Well, um, number one, with the recent decision, one of our first big decisions of Governor Sherrill, and Lieutenant Governor Caldwell, was to cancel the Liberty State Park Fan Fest and direct that energy into communities around the state. And it was a brave and uh, really impactful decision for communities like Newark, because it gives us an opportunity to really step up as New Jersey's largest city, for us to really not have to compete with such a huge event at Liberty State Park, but be able to stand up our own fan festivals, and annual festivals, that really cultural festivals that are happening anyway, and be able to offer those up to visitors. So as New Jersey's largest city, I think we're going to be able to really present ourselves in a way that's suited for that title. Again, with just an integrated marketing campaign that will be vibrant, that you'll see, imagery that kind of evokes everything that you would, expect when you're going to come here. People celebrating soccer, our art scene, our food scene, and be able to leave with, and both for visitors and residents, be able to kind of experience um, the thrill of the world's largest game.
And you were talking about your mission, and as far as reputation management,
Hmm.
reputation perception building, this is a great opportunity to do that.
That's right. Um, you know, ag- Again, a lot of people have uh, old perceptions of Newark, and this is our opportunity to really kind of debunk those. And then some people just might not have any perception of Newark, and not know anything about Newark beyond the airport.
Hmm.
So we're excited about the initiatives that we'll have to connect with visitors who might be staying at the airport hotels. We have incredible hotel partners who we're working with to make sure that we are really able to offer a digestible experience, and meaning like we have visitor experiences, like kind of hands-on experiences with local businesses that we're helping to curate with local businesses, that we can say, you might be staying in an airport hotel, but here are the ways to draw you in to come downtown, to eat, to go, go to Newark Art Museum, to go on a walking tour of murals, experience some of our history, parks, all of it. So it's thrilling.
Very exciting. Also, Newark, you were talking about the arts, very vibrant art scene. So the largest festival in the state is also held here, Newark
Right,
Arts Festival, and this previous edition was also a huge success. So the ingredients are here,
right.
from culture, arts. I mean, we even have a councilman that's a hip hop star. I
Yeah.
mean, where do you find that? Show me a city that you have a hip hop star, and he's also a great leader and great person. So, I mean, it's here, Ashley. It's just a matter of more keeping this formula of collaboration, like you've been doing, and aligning Newark Arts and Education District, Invest Newark, Newark Alliance, and I see that effort, that people seem to be really in tune with one another and pushing Newark forward.
That's right. And I've I've been working in Newark not quite 4 years, but so I'm newer on the scene. But I've been told time and time again that we're in a moment where the silos are broken down, that there's kind of an unprecedented amount of collaboration, and just people energized to kind of work together. And I think we're seeing that. And uh, with new residents that will be moving in, as we have lots of construction happening downtown, where there formerly vacant lots, that are where there's now going to be buildings to welcome people in, coming in from outside of Newark, or Newark residents that have kind of new housing options, and really working to make downtown a truly 24/7 neighborhood, because Newark had a similar Newark's downtown is a similar experience as many other American cities, where their downtowns had become kind of central, like, business districts, and the kind of office centric business districts. And so now with the arts and education district and all of the work that's been happening, is to make um, downtown a 24/7 community where people are living and working and um, playing. So and studying, because obviously what Newark is also a college town, 60,000 students, and so we're really excited to bring all of those pieces together in a way that just continues to grow the city.
And I see your campaign. I saw your campaign with Halsey and Halsey Street, very charming street. And you see some other restaurateurs, Aletante. Shout out to Jason Wallace, and the great work and great flavors that he's also bringing. House music tradition. How is that going
Yeah.
for downtown? I see that downtown seems to be happening.
Yeah, and again, I think like the Halsey Street work is an embodiment of that philosophy of collaboration, and that was the Newark Alliance project that I was initially brought in to work on, is kind of how can Newark Alliance play its part to help grow Halsey Street as a national model for Black and Brown wealth creation, engaging our anchor institutions, and really helping to brand Halsey as a a nationally recognized destination. And so collaboration was at the heart of that. Working with Invest Newark, working with the city of Newark, with Rutgers, with uh, Audible and Prudential, and creating a visual identity for Halsey, so that
That looks amazing, by the way. Great
thank
job.
thank you. Um, and yeah, so kind of how we linked that to Halsey Festival, which Newark Alliance also became the stewards of Halsey Fest, and shout out to Tamara Remedios, who was an organizer for Halsey Fest for years, and we came in to again be the stewards of Halsey Festival. And when she went in-house to Audible and then doing amazing work with Audible and kind of activating the neighborhood around Tubman Square and supporting small business. And so, we're taking that approach that we entered the Halsey work with, and kind of what's that approach for the entire city, all of the commercial corridors around the city, and trying to tell the story of so many entrepreneurs and that are doing incredible things.
And also finding in Newark
Yeah.
all those opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
I see your community outreach campaigns. I've also had the pleasure of working with Peter Chapman and you and your team. I know that you're very serious in this whole mission of putting your platform out there so that people could also, take advantage of that value. Sometimes, based on my experience, I feel that certain businesses or maybe because of so much work, sometimes it could be a little overwhelmed, and maybe some of the opportunities that already exist they might not know, or with the experience Newark. How can they be more proactive? What can businesses expect from the free resources that already exist in terms of sharing their events or
Mm-hmm.
with you, with your team? What's the best way for them to also facilitate your life and be more proactive in this whole outreach?
Yeah. You're referring to the Experience Newark event sponsorship program, or just in
general, just for them to. I know that there's some free resources that you have, ways for them to promote their events, or with the Experience Newark,
yes.
or send your event here so we could also post it here.
So yeah, we want our platforms to be a way that businesses can event organizers can promote their work.
Mm-hmm.
So our website, newarkhappening.com, and our social media channels, there's Newark Happening and there's Newark Downtown District on Instagram, are platforms that we like to be able to promote events. And so one way is to just bookmark newarkhappening.com. And so if you're organizing an event, you submit that event to us, and then there's a section on the website, submit your event, and then we can have all the information about the event, the flyer, so that we can promote it on social channels. But I might as well plug the event sponsorship program.
Yeah.
That is another way that we are extending our resources and really trying to catalyze even additional vibrancy and opportunity for business owners or creatives to have events. And we found that there are a couple of events that we're leaning into, of events that Newark Alliance is producing, namely Halsey Fest. We're also doing the Western Fall Festival in Military Park every fall, and that was traditionally organized by Newark Downtown District. And so these are a couple of the bigger events that we're leaning into, but we've decided that we want to make financial resources available to business owners and creatives and organizers to do the events, because we know what we're good at, but Newark residents and businesses know really what's best. So that's the genesis behind that, the event sponsorship program, to help catalyze and empower the community to be able to do events. And so that information is also on the website under opportunities.
NewarkHappening.com.
NewarkHappening.com, and go to opportunities. That's where we list kind of the grant program and any RFP opportunities, such as the Newark Welcome Team.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're almost getting to the end. Some last thoughts. Actually, I have obviously a personal great admiration for you. You told me that you started working mostly in Newark around these last 4 years, more involved. What has been the best experience so far
Oh, I mean, I know
It,
it kind of seems like cliche, but it's the people. Um, and look, I'm New Jersey born and bred. I'm not from Newark. I was raised in Central Jersey, in Mercer County, and then when I was a senior in high school, I moved to Montclair, and so I graduated from Montclair High. But I've always been a lover of cities, and that's what brought me to my career in New York. So to be able to move back to New Jersey, raise my family here, but then work in Newark for the state's largest city, a city that has experienced this investment, and to kind of be part of um, the ongoing story of moving Newark forward is just like such an amazing honor. But it's the people who have just been incredibly gracious, helped me learn about the history of the city, the needs, welcoming me into the fold, and then I just be able to kind of just put my energy towards building. Just been absolutely incredible.
not only being part of the story, being part of the leadership of this big mission, which is a huge responsibility. People that are not, that are still sleeping in Newark, what would you like for them to know?
Um, Newark's art and mural scene and public art scene is incredible, and it's such an accessible way. I think for people who might be maybe I don't know more intimidated by a more formal art scene. Newark's from the museum being such a community oriented museum, but the Newark Art
Then also the
Museum
largest museum in the state,
and
too.
the largest museum in the state. It's incredible. And then we have Newark Arts, and we have Project for Empty Space, and then we have the city's arts and cultural department. It's absolutely incredible. So it's such an accessible way to see the kind of the fabric of this city through the public art. And so there's a couple of ways that are like easy ways to kind of learn about the city's arts program, and that is through Newark Arts, going to their website. They have a public art map that's incredible. And then there's also Newark Grounds. That's a program through Project for Empty Space, and they've developed a map that they call Cultural Corridor. And I think it's growing. At one point, it was 75 pieces of contiguous public art. It's probably growing at this point, but it's really easy entree into exploring Newark.
This year is also a pretty historic event, moment. We're also, Savor Newark, we're formalizing a partnership between Newark and the city of Cascais, where two of our students from the Newark Vocational School and a teacher will get an opportunity to go and learn from Cascais, but also bring a little bit of this flavor. Will take place on May 16. Also, thank you very much for the support. Um, how was your experience, and how do you see this year's edition now that we're creating
Yeah.
history and putting Newark out there and establishing international partnerships as well?
Yeah, well, I'm so excited about Savor Newark this year. Not only because of the food, because it was incredible last year, and so you've set the bar high. But it really kicks us off in the World Cup celebrations, and so we're just really excited to be a part of it and really see this as a moment to just to get everyone in our region excited about the World Cup, and really positions Newark's the best of Newark with our incredible food scene. So. We're so excited to be a part of it. We're so excited that this will be a platform also to make more announcements about Restaurant Week, and the beautiful tie-in of between Restaurant Week and Savor Newark. So really excited to be there and to connect with people about Newark's food scene.
And this year, I don't want to reveal it all, but the chef actually owns a restaurant that's ranked amongst the top 50 best in the world in
Wow.
Rio de Janeiro. So we're growing. At least delicious it will be. So expect a delicious and vibrant event as well, and also very purposeful, because we're all about also youth empowerment in the process. Any last thoughts that I haven't asked you, or you think you already covered?
Well, just again, encourage everyone to stay tuned in to newarkhappening.com, where that website is continuing to evolve, and really to be a resource for people to learn about Newark's uh, events, businesses, everything that's what's going on in Newark.
Anything happening.
Everything happening in Newark. I try to avoid saying it.
But it is Newark, and Newark is happening. Ashley, thank you so much.
Thank you so
I
much.
wish you all the best. Keep up the great work, you
Thank
and your
you,
lovely
Carlos.
team. It was our great conversation with Ashley Mays. Don't forget to also follow at Plusable_PR, Savor Newark, and follow Newark Happening, Newark Alliance, Newark Downtown District, and be proactive. They're here, they're vibrant, they love Newark, and I'm pretty sure that they will love to collaborate and promote your event. I'll see you next time.